So another rematch game for Rodgers next year is going to be when he plays the Packers in Pittsburgh, and that's Sunday Night Football game. That'll be a lot of fun. Jordan Love was asked about it, and he agrees with me. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited for it. So he said it's going to be fun. 3 different ways there. I can't wait to be on different sides, meeting up, and I know we'll talk pregame, things like that, and hopefully we can exchange jerseys after. So we'll have a nice little Love versus Rodgers matchup. It won't have the same animosity that Rodgers-Favre had in Lambeau Field. It feels like the Packers-Rodgers relationship, even though I don't think it's repaired too much, it's certainly not a dislike like it was between Favre and Green Bay.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, right now it doesn't feel that way, but do not count out Aaron Rodgers' ability to hold a petty grudge.
Oh, I'm not. But even when you see...
Right, remember when they cut like that undrafted free agent wide receiver that went to Buffalo and you started blasting Green Bay? Like, why'd you let my guy go? It was Jake Kumaro, right? Like some absolute nobody who never did anything anywhere. Rodgers can make a grievance out of anything. He will not be short on resentment towards the Packers.
Sure, but I just think when you've seen him this offseason, he's saying "we" a lot when talking about the Packers fans, and I think that I don't think it's necessarily a great relationship, but it's not a strong dislike at this point in time. But it'll still be a great Sunday Night Football game. Like they will be able to build a story out of it. So what I wanted to ask you guys is when we look at the 2 quarterbacks going up against each other in that game, Love and Rodgers. Next year, next season, who has more to prove in your eyes right now? Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers?
Well, first, I think we're going to kill the Packers, but that's...
You've made that
I've made that clear. I think it'll be like 52-3.
You have successfully ripped apart the Packers past, present, and soon to be, I'd imagine, future in the past 20 minutes.
With that said, I like the Packers. I do. But
it's just banter.
Yeah. I think for next year, certainly it's Jordan Love. Aaron Rodgers, I get it, and I just said this on the Rodgers reaction, is he's coming off an Achilles injury. He's 42 years old. A lot of people wondering if he has it, if he's washed up. I just think the difference is the amount that they're being paid and the age. This is a huge year for Jordan Love. He's paid like a quarterback who can win a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers is on a 1-year deal. Jordan Love just got a receiver in the first round. Aaron Rodgers, if he goes out and he has a mediocre season, people will say, okay, I guess we expected that. I think Rodgers can only do better than what people think.
For like his legacy?
Whereas Rodgers' legacy, yeah. Like if he goes and takes us to the playoffs and goes any further, I guess.
If he sucks, people say he's 40 years old.
Right.
What more do you expect?
But if Jordan Love goes out and he sucks now with what he's being paid, still being young, with Matthew Golden, that's going to be really, really, really bad. So I think Love has a lot more to prove than Rodgers does. Rodgers has a Super Bowl. He's proved that he can take
he doesn't even
far.
belong in the discussion to you anymore.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm saying. Love has all the world to prove. Rodgers, I don't think as much as people think.
Ziggy?
So I agree with what you said about the relative situations, but I think Aaron Rodgers is the one with more to prove. And the reason is simple. For Aaron Rodgers, like just Jordan Love, what's his legacy going to be? Who knows? Who's he going to be? Who really knows? Maybe he'll be a Hall of Famer. Maybe he'll just be a decent quarterback. But for Aaron Rodgers, we know where this guy's ending up. Like you said, Jack, he's a legend. He's going to the Hall of Fame. So the question for me is, how is Aaron Rodgers' last years going to be remembered? And right now, it's simple. He was a washed-up bum who stuck around the league too long. Right? There was that bad year in 2022 in Green Bay after like the 2021 playoff collapse. That was largely his fault. He played 1 game in New York where you see images of him with a big old flag, and then he ruptures his Achilles.
So
and 2024, it's one of the most and then 2024 is one of the most disappointing seasons, maybe the most disappointing season of his entire career, or at least since like 2018, right? So that's who Aaron Rodgers is going to be remembered as. He was good with the Packers. He won a Super Bowl in 2010. He had some nice regular seasons and then nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers, if he wins a playoff game with the Steelers, I'm not saying he's going to win a Super Bowl and that's going to transform his legacy, but all of that hate, all of that blame will be moved on to the Jets organization. He was cursed on the Jets, but he was still good. So I think Aaron Rodgers has a chance to change the way that people talk about him in a pretty significant way. If he just puts together a good season, Jordan Love, if he sucks next year, he's coming back to Green Bay and he still gets another chance to get it done. Aaron Rodgers, this is it. If he has a bad season in Pittsburgh, whether or not it's his fault, he will be remembered as a guy who stuck around too long and couldn't get it done anywhere outside of Green Bay in the early 2010s.
And that's honestly kind of like Favre, right? Like you talked to me about Brett Favre's guy, the Jets, where it was awful.
But he had the magical Viking year, and that was enough to save the way you view the end of his career. Like the last,
even though 2010 Minnesota was terrible.
That was a disaster. That was a disaster, and Favre's last play was being essentially like carried off the field at what was it? TD? Where the hell was it? The Gopher Stadium. I can't remember the name right now. There's frozen. And we were outside against Chicago. He has head slammed into the ground.
And let's be clear, Brett Favre won one playoff game in Minnesota.
Yeah, but it was a pretty...
that's all it took, right? For his legacy to be completely transformed.
I will say, that also may have been Brett Favre's best season ever. Just saying that. People are going to be upset about that. He was on...
If Aaron Rodgers puts together... he's not going to put together the best season of his career. But if Aaron Rodgers puts together a great year, you must admit it's going to completely change how in 10, 15, 20 years people talk about him.
That's how Eli Manning is viewed now, I guess, sticking around too long.
Yeah, but Eli Manning was never a legend. Like Eli Manning was
That's true.
Eli Manning was a good player who had two magical runs. Like if you could get into this whole entire Eli conversation. Like if you had a game to win that you needed to win, I'm not sure where Eli falls. Like 2-minute drive, yeah, he was unbelievable at the end of games, but if you had like a game of your life on the line, I don't know if Eli's cracking your top. What
20?
I don't think he is close to the top 20. I was thinking like, would I go to like top
50?
He's got to be in the top 50.
To give you an idea, I just looked up. I was curious who people say. I looked up on Reddit which former player hurt his legacy the most by staying in the league too long. This is from 2018.
Is this football? Because there's some.
Yeah, NFL.
Okay.
The number one answer is Tom Brady.
Well, that's stupid.
No, but it's the most popular answer. People say he should have retired a few after he won his latest Super Bowl, sticking around like that ugly stink in New England had a chance to tarnish how people thought him. He didn't have a great defense. He was no good. Obviously, he won a Super Bowl in Tampa, but if he just had a pretty good season there, that would have been good enough.
I truly have no idea what you're talking about with these people. Brady was amazing in Tampa Bay.
No, but what I mean is, I'm not denying that. No, this is before the Tampa Bay thing.
Didn't he win before he went 2018?
This is a couple years then. It was after his last year of the Patriots when he decided he was going to go to Tampa.
These guys know what they're talking about. He won the Super Bowl in 2018, didn't win in 2019, and won it in 2020.
Look, man, what do you want?
I guess people are
crazy
through that pick to the Titans. I don't.
Donovan McNabb is another one of those guys, I think, because of that Minnesota stint. Like, people forget how good he was with Philadelphia for so long.
Minnesota.
Oh, I remember that. Actually, anyone who remembers this, the first 4 games of the McNabb era in Minnesota, we were killing people. At least 3 games, we were killing people at halftime. We were up like 20-0 in 3 straight games, essentially. Oh, I'll never forget that. The Chargers, the Lions, and someone else. We were up and we were killing them, and teams kept coming back. We were 0-3. Really bad. But yeah, no, I was thinking more along the lines like Karl Malone on the Lakers and Hakeem Olajuwon on the Raptors. Like, Jordan going to the Wizards. Like, these are
Celtic Shaq.
Yeah, that's the meme you sent. Like, yeah. I think there are some better NBA comps that you can make here with legends doing this. But again, I think Rodgers has to be painted a little differently because of the injury. The injury. Who knows? You probably still would have had a bad season with the Jets because the O-line wasn't very good, but I think
if he comes back and is bad next year, people are going to say, who cares about the injury? He was no good.
Yeah.
He's the reason the Jets were 5-12 last year.
Yeah, then it'll take a couple of years and people will be like, yeah, he was the 4-time MVP and Super Bowl champion.
Do think, though, then there's a super valid excuse. He was 42 when he of an Achilles injury.
Oh, yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. I think the injury masks can be used to mask a lot of the late season blunders that he had. Yeah, he got older, then he tore his Achilles. And all right, yeah. I think the Achilles will be remembered more than him being bad. Like that was one of the most iconic moments in recent football history was Rodgers running out with the flag, as you said, and then tearing his Achilles 4 plays later. Like that unless they go on a huge playoff run, that is the legacy of late career Rodgers is the injury. Not that he sucked the year or two after. And he wasn't even that bad.
We got Rodgers back though. We're taking home the limbo.
So we'll see what happens. I agree with you though, Jack. I think Love's got more to prove with that contract, with those expectations, with the season they had last year, with him going up against his former quarterback. I think that he has to prove that he's the franchise quarterback in some people's eyes, and that's it's pretty crazy when you're operating on the $55 million a year deal. That you are going to have to prove that to some of your fan base. And that's what Love's going to have to do.
Most of your fan base.
But yeah. So I think that'll be a lot of fun to watch, though, that Steeler-Packer game.
I'll be in attendance.
Okay.
We should go to that game.
That would be really fun to go to.
Do a show or something.
That would be awesome.
We should do that.
A little Steeler-Packer pregame. That'd be a lot of fun.
We got one comment from, I forget who it was. One of our fans said he'll be there. And if he sees us there, we'll do some shots.